Hello fellow tubers, I'm here to do a book haul today. I did a book haul a couple of days ago and yeah, I said it was going to be December's haul, but I did go to the library today to fix up an error that had been on the system, and they had a lot of books there, so I asked my partner if he could loan me $5 to pick up a bag of books, and we won't share the load, but as we all know, I'm quite crazy when it comes to books, especially when I can get them for practically nothing. So yes, most of the bag was filled with my books instead. So I thought today that I would show you, maybe in a couple of videos, I don't know, we'll just see where it goes. So I'm just going to get on to it. The first book, which, like most of these are going to be a share between us anyway, that's just the way it goes, but these are mostly the ones I picked out. But Inspector Singh investigates a deadly Cambodian crime spree by Shamini Flint. Now, we did actually meet Shamini Flint. Would have been October of last year. I'm pretty sure it was 2011. Yeah, something like that. At a crime convention, and she was really fantastic and funny. I do have the first book in the series. I believe this is the fourth book, but I do have the first book there. I need to read it. I think one of the dogs chewed on the cover of it, and yeah, I just can't look at it right now. It's just so sad. Then I picked up The Lives of Strangers by Citra Delvacarni. Really bad at pronouncing this, but from what I've read on the back, it's a spiritual journey of a character who tries to let go of her Indian heritage, but kind of just comes out into it and grows into it, and yeah, she feels like she's American, like she must live in America, and yeah, India envelops her and stuff like that. So I'm instantly drawn to the cover. I'm tongue-tied, but I was instantly drawn to the cover, and I knew from that little thing there, sorry about the glare, that it was going to be based something to do with India, and I love Indian books right now. I'm so fascinated by them, so I definitely cannot wait to get to this. I'm considering taking off all these really poor plastic cover things, but we'll see. Then I got The Wild Things by Dave Eggers, and I was actually going to borrow this a couple of weeks ago, but decided against it, and so instead I ended up picking it up. Again, I'm probably going to take off the cover because it has a really nice cloth back. It's a cloth back book, I guess. And this one is based off where the wild things are, so that really kind of intrigued me. And it's the writing's pretty big. It's a bit of a thick book, but it's actually quite nice. Then I picked up The Return of the Prophet by Hajar Kabran. I am not 100% sure this is an Indian type book. It says it's an inspirational book, but it's very short, and I am so keen to read some different books, like some really different books, some books that I've never heard of before, and cultures that I haven't even explored yet. It's one of the reasons why I love to read, and it's something that I have greatly forgot over the past year or two, in amongst all the YA things, all the YA books that have come out, and all the YA books that I have read. I forget to actually delve into other things. So it smells really good. It smells like old books, and I just love that smell. But it's a pretty short book. It's a spiritual book. Yeah, it's cute, and it's small. So. Then I picked up Lady of English by Elizabeth Chadwick. Beauty, Power, Duty, Desire. I love the back of this. I just love this book. The cover, anyway. And I'm going to get into some historical fiction, and this book is set in the Henry the First, so I'm not quite sure what era that would be in. But if you're interested in historical books, I won't read the back because the blurb, because it's just me. But it looks delicious, and it looks fat, and it looks just perfect. Perfect for like, I don't know, like a week where I just feel like delving into something completely different. So definitely check that. Then I picked up Dead Connection by Awww Burke. Now, if you remember, I got the audiobook of this book, and I think I also borrowed the book from the library, but I can't remember. But I was determined to buy this book at one stage, and when I saw it there, I thought, yeah, I'm supposed to be reading this book at some point in my life because it keeps showing up everywhere. So luckily I found it. It's in pretty neat condition. I think there's like a page where the top's ripped off, but luckily it's not ripped off any words, so it's a crime book. Yeah, it's a crime book, so just blew bubbles with my mouth then. So if you're interested in looking at that, I'd check that out. It's about serial killers and stalkers and internet stuff, so yeah. This one I'm not really too sure what it's about, but it's a beast of a book. It's called Grace by Robert Drew. From what I can gather, it's got mystery. I think it's set in Australia. It's about the media, and it says it's part film noir, part action thriller, part road movie, and it reflects on matters as timeless and contemporary as the countless varieties of love and the nature of human fear, whether tangible or illusory. It sounded really good, and like I said, it was nothing. It's cheap, so something I haven't heard of before and looked into, but you know, I love delving into things that I just have no idea about, because I sometimes think that you can find the best stories by doing that. Then I picked up Hatchet by Gary Polsky. I read this book in primary school, I believe, or early high school, and I loved it. I loved the whole concept of it. It just fascinates me, and it scares me too because I really don't like planes. But yeah, I cannot wait to read this again. This is going to go into my childhood classic kind of pile, because to me it is like one of those books, the childhood books. And then I found a copy of Alice's Adventure in Wonderland. I love this cover. I really like the vintage collection. I don't know who it's by. Random House, and I really like the covers. They're so simple and really beautiful. But this book, I think, must have been donated. It wasn't just a library book, and it's in pretty good condition, so I must read this again. I don't think I've read it since I was very young, so I'm looking forward to reading that book. And that, again, goes on my classics collection. Then I saw this and I had to pick it up. It's a supernatural book. It's called Nevermore. If you watch Supernatural, or if you've seen my videos before, you know I'm a Supernatural nutcase. We have most of the DVDs, and I write fan fiction, and I haven't gotten too much into them lately because we've been focusing on Groom the series, but can't wait to get back into the last series of Supernatural, even though it's kind of gone off for me. But I still love it, totally. I still love these guys, and I actually have another Supernatural book that I need to read. But yeah, if I ever feel like writing something, I can always read this, or if I just feel like reading something about Supernatural. Yeah. Not doing too well for time, guys. The next book I got is called Broken Vows by Corey Daniels, and it says a divine warrior princess and a handsome barbarian battle for the fate of the land. And I am going to put out a message out here to you guys. If you have any fantasy series that you like to read or have read that is either adult, YA, yes, I can do, but I'm also looking for adult series as well. Things that feature knights, and especially like Camelot and things like that. I love that kind of stuff, I love it. But I've been picking up more fantasy books lately because I love fantasy books. I just have not really paid enough attention to them lately. But yeah. And it says, in a world full of danger and dark enchantment, the most treacherous magic is desire. So if this is going to be romantic, but it's really cheap and it's cool. Then I picked up one just basically off the cover because I'm a cover whore like that, but also the story does sound good. It's by Andrea Busfield and it's called Aphrodite's War, and it says on the front, a war that would never end, a love that would never die, a legacy that could live forever. I'm sorry, isn't that just a beautiful cover? I think it is. And this one is set in 1955 in Cyprus, and it says, guerrilla war is raging and 4 Greek brothers are growing up on the familiar sides of exploding bombs and sniper fire. Determined to avenge the death of his elder brother and to win the heart of his beloved Praxi, young Lucas joins the cell of schoolboy terrorists operating in the mountains. But when his cohorts blow themselves up in a freak accident, his return home is shock, yearning for the warmth embrace of his family and of his sweetheart. But his adored Praxi is now married to someone else, and playing at her feet is a little girl. So, you know, I'm not too fond of war shit. Skirtingly, I guess, because I do quite not enjoy, but I am fascinated with war in some senses. But when it gets to terrorists and stuff like that, it kind of creeps me out a lot. But that's just because society has ingrained these images into my brain. But when I picked it up, I thought, yeah, you know, I haven't read anything like this before, and I need to. You know, I need to educate myself, even if it is a fictional story. It's got to be based off something. So, and, you know, I live in a very cultural place right now, so reading these books and stuff and understanding different cultures is really helping me grow as a person as well as with my reading. So, it's a pretty good thing. Then I picked up a chicklet kind of book, and this one is called The Last Word, and it's about 2 old people who are about to retire and what they want to do and their plans and shit like that. And they both retire at the same time, and you know, after years and years of work and not being around each other and stuff every minute of the day, they begin to be around each other all the time, and just, I guess, their relationship and their home and what happens to them. So I think it's like kind of set up in a diary format or daily format. It's quite interesting format, I think. It's a he says, she says kind of thing. And you know, I really actually enjoy reading books about older people. I do like reading YA, and I do like reading, you know, your average chicklet and stuff like that, but sometimes it's really nice to just delve into the world of someone who's a little bit older than you and who has lived life. And I like chicklets like that as well, or contemporary books that feature older people, because they've got more of a story to tell as well, I think. Or at least I feel like that. Then the last 3 books I got was The Cairo Diary by Maxim Chatham. Again, kind of went off it on the cover. And this is most of these are historical books. This one is set in Cairo in 1928, and I believe someone in 2005 finds this diary of a person, and you only have to mention diary to me and I'm pretty much fucked. You know, I will be like, yep, okay, how much do I have to pay for the book? Because I just love diaries. I'm fascinated. I have my own journal. I just love books about diaries and secrets and all that kind of nice stuff. And look at that, this is beautiful. Apart from this thing. But it's just a really beautiful book. So excited. Get in there, guys. I'm sorry it's so long. I might as well just do it now. Then this is a book that I have been or have heard about for a couple of years, and it's called The Boy Who Loved Anne Frank, a novel. And I believe it was published in 2005. Now, I think, from what I remember, it's a fiction book, but written in the perspective of Peter. And I absolutely adore Anne Frank. As you guys already know, I'm very fascinated with the Holocaust. I'm very fascinated with her life. So anything to do with Anne Frank, or anything to do with that kind of setting, I love it. I still have annexed that I have not read yet. So I'm thinking next year I'm going to have to dig out some of those books and possibly, like, over the course of a couple of months, delve into the life of Anne Frank and different perspectives of her story. And I just think it's awesome, and I'm so glad I found this book because, yeah, I completely forgot I wanted it so badly a couple of years ago. So, and practically nothing. And lastly, I'm getting there slowly. I'm pretty sure this is the first book, but it's The Clan of the Cave Bear by Jean M. Awww. And I haven't heard too much about this book lately, but I have heard a lot of it, not so much about it, but of it. And I was thinking the other day, oh, I should borrow this from the library because I think it would be something that I might be interested in, something really different from what I usually read. And I believe it's set in the Ice Age. So, yeah, when I had it, I thought, oh, even if it's not the first book, I can always put it aside and at least I have it. But I'm pretty sure it is. So if any of you have read this series, let me know if it's the first book in the series. I mean, it looks like it is. They have the books at the back there. But, yeah. I think it's a fantasy book. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's a historical book. But I'm not quite sure. Yeah, I don't know. Let me know, guys, if you know anything about it. But, so, if I just turn the camera around. Oops, not there. No. There are some books there, and there are some books there, and yeah. Do you like my room? It's quite cute. Okay. You don't need to see anything else. Okay guys, so I hope that was okay, and yes, I do have quite a lot of books, but I'm going to leave you with the mischievous kitten. What are you doing, Penny? No.